Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Griever Productions. I'm here with someone that I'm gonna technically say that he's a newcomer to the channel. It's not really true, as we did listen to a Nightwish song quite some time ago. But basically, this gentleman, Marko Hietala, did a whole heap with Nightwish, and then I think it was in 2021 he left the band, and now I'm seeing that he's been doing quite a number of solo songs and that sort of thing. So I'm actually really excited because I was a little concerned because I believe the reason that he cited for leaving Nightwish was chronic depression, which I get it. Like, chronic depression is a nasty thing to have to deal with, and so I'm personally glad that he was able to take his mental health and go, all right, look, I'm not coping. Let's see how we go, right? So just a little bit of a mental health awareness thing there. You know, look after the people closest to you. Sometimes you don't know what they're going through, right? But this gentleman, Marko, phenomenal bass player, phenomenal vocalist, right? I I love to hear what he does vocally. He's got a very unique tone to his voice, and I absolutely adore it. Like to hear him do something on his own. I'm very excited. I'm very excited to hear it. I love his voice. I love his tone, and also the lyrics that he would write as well. Were always great. I always really liked the is it lyricism? I don't know if that's actually a word. Future Jim, look that up for me. But before we begin, please do leave a like on the video. It really does help. And without any further ado, let's get into this. Marko Hietala's Rebel of the North. I'm very keen to hear how this goes.
Human male, an ape with an ego.
Wow.
Let me see that mirror and don't spare the shame. I'm a fortress founded with the strength of lies. Wake me up, my children, you know the rebel never dies. The rebel never dies.
Beautiful. Look, I would love to have a chat with Marko because I have a lot of questions about how he uses his voice, right? And a large part of them is the tone that he has, because there's just a natural form of grit and fry that just sits there, and I don't know, like I can't recall if I've heard him speak. Like, I don't think I've watched any like documentaries or anything on Nightwish or anything. I could be wrong. My brain is like, my memory's not very good today. Like, for some reason, I can't recall a lot of things today. But I would love to have that conversation with him. He may very well not know how his voice works and how he gets the sounds that he does. It may just be his natural thing. But I would love to have that conversation with him, because then there's a lot more. Because basically, my job here, right, is the spread of information. I want information to be, spread amongst people, and it would be like, I'd love to start a podcast that featured people like Marko, who have been doing this for a while, and just have a chat, just have like a chat, and just talk about their experiences, talk about how their voice is in the shape that it is, and what and basically what they would do to get their voice into shape, right? It's because it interests me, because it would be, like, in my eyes, it would be incredibly enlightening to go, okay, cool, so this person is this natural this natural born singer with this natural born tone, or how much of it was learned as opposed to talent, sort of thing. I'd love to be able to do it. So if we can get these videos out there more, so that people can see these, and I would love to start a podcast like that with interviewing these sorts of people. That'd be a dream come true. Seriously.
White walker, black heart, built anew from the start. Red hand Russian art, turned to Roman written part. You're trapped along the real one, straight between the eyes. You're not afraid, my children, you know the rebel never dies. The rebel never dies. The rebel never dies. The rebel never dies. I need a challenger to bring me down and fight me. If I claim authority, that's where I go wrong. But if you get high ideas, then you can try and bite me. Claim that authority and we won't get along. Get out of my soul! I'm from the north, he came out of the south.
That's another thing with his voice that I adore, right? The way that he can unexpectedly jump into those heights as well. I've spoken a lot about the mixed voice and a lot of the rock singers that use their kind of mixed voice, going from chest voice into mixed voice to get a lot of those higher notes, right? And a lot of people, basically how it works is there's usually some form of like springboard note that singers will use, like a note that a singer will go, okay, if I hit this note before going into that part of the voice, then I'm set, and it makes it easier. It's really hard to explain. I might have to do like a whole video explaining that, like on one of the Saturdays for the voice videos. But Marko, the way that Marko does it is so unexpected. It's always just an instant jump into that spot. There's no gradual shift for him. It's just one and then the other, and it's just brilliant. Not a lot of singers can do it that way. Seriously, not a lot of singers can do it that way. There are some, but the way that he handles it, I find is very unique, and I adore it. I love it.
So what? Who we are comes out of one's mouth. With bullets of information, future will rise. Word for blame and children, you know. The rebel never dies. Renegades and mind grenades don't need a disguise. Be not afraid, my children, you know. The rebel never dies. 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 The rebel never
Cool. Very different to anything that I've heard him do before. To be completely honest, that sounded more like a I don't want to say classic rock. It wasn't really classic rock. It still had its heavy metal sort of thing to it, but it was more along that sort of line than what I've heard him do before. So super intriguing to me. I love it. Like as I was mentioning before, when it comes to like sorry, where was I? I had a phone call. Yeah, but anyway, like when I was mentioning about the podcast before, like I'd love to have a chat with people like Marko who have just seen so much in the industry and musically are so gifted and talented. So it'd be interesting. I'd love to start something like that. If the channel gets big enough, essentially. But yeah, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this. Like a favorite if you enjoyed, subscribe, do all that sort of thing, and I'll see you in the next one. Feel free to leave in the comments below any artists you'd like for me to react to, and we'll get to it. All right, thank you very much. Bye for now.